We're good?
Yes, we're good.
Okay.
Welcome, Melissa Ronda.
Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, it's true. This is not what I do for a living, but I think when you really think about it this way, so many of us are actually doing the same thing. We're offering a service, and being a solo entrepreneur, we need to learn how to market ourselves. And so we really can replicate that process, whatever kind of business you have. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. And this will help me stay on track because I'd never do. Okay, so here we go. Let me just move you over the side here. This is how to become a social media maven. In the comments section, say hi and then tell us what type of business you have. That'll help as we move through these slides together. And I want you to know that this is an interactive workshop, so please feel free to type any questions that you have. I will try to answer them real time for you because I think that's the best way to cover it. Let me pop up the chat. And Jean's going to help me a little bit too. So Evie says, I'm a coach and a business consultant. And Lynn says, I write a blog that helps dog owners create happy, healthy, holistic lives for their dogs. Mary Wu is a social media consultant. And I'm sorry, don't know how to say your name. Pilar, I'm going to say it wrong and it's probably gorgeous. Oh, they're moving so fast. So I'm going to go ahead and
well, and also you missed Linda at the top. She's an online marketing. She has an online marketing business too.
Awesome. Hi, Linda. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and keep going, and I'll come back and read those chats too. I want you to know that you are in the right place if you struggle to find time to promote your business. You're also in the right place if you want to grow your audience. In the chat box, tell me who doesn't want to grow their audience, right? I'm sure we all do. It's like money. There's just never, ever enough. You're in the right place if you want to increase sales, which that brings me to my next point, right? So bringing in a more engaged audience, a larger size audience is going to create extra sales for you. You are in the right place if you just don't know what to post anymore. Do you ever feel that way? Do you feel like, I don't know what else to tell these people anymore? I just, whatever, right? And you start like sharing things and just doing randomness and never really having intention that aligns with what you are selling at that time. I'm sure you can relate because I have certainly been there. And I want you to make sure that you stay till the end because we are doing breakout sessions afterwards. So I'm looking forward to connecting with some of you ladies in there. And allow me to introduce myself, and then I will drop my Facebook link in the chat for you. And look at my cute daughter. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. I'm gonna have to change some screens in a second. So I want to connect with everyone here. There we go. Okay, so as Jean already introduced me, so I don't need to do all that all again, but my name is Melissa Ronda. I have been in business for 4 years now. I started my weight loss journey myself when I was about 32 years old. I was obese. I had this photo taken of me on the left here, which was actually my wedding day. And when the photographer took the photo, I had not realized how large I had gotten. And as a matter of fact, I don't own any of these photos from our wedding day. The photo on the left is a screenshot that I had on the computer, but we never ordered wedding photos because I couldn't believe how big I had gotten. And so what I decided to do was just go about things differently. Being obese my whole life, I had tried every single diet, pills, powders, the whole 9 yards. I decided to go about it differently. It changed my life so radically that I quit my career as a paralegal working downtown Chicago. I went back and got my certification and started my business immediately. I started working with clients right away because I truly do believe the best way for us to hone our skills and our craft is to just start working with people. So why do this? Why? I'm going to show you my system. I'm going to walk you through exactly what I do every single week. But it's really important to know, like, why the heck we want to do this, right? Creating valuable content is the gift that keeps on giving for like years, okay? So perfect example, Jean is going to upload this video to YouTube. So the fact that I'm doing this right now with you, in 3 years from now, someone could see that video looking for social media help, but also wants to lose a few pounds, and they're gonna say, hey, I really like that lady. What is her business? Again, all right, cool, I connected with her. So think about every time you put content out there, that it stays there forever, unless you're doing, like, I have Instagram stories, right? So any kind of content that you can put out that is linked back to you with intention is going to serve you for years to come. Okay, and here's what we're going to learn. You are going to learn how to structure a podcast. Yes, ladies, a podcast. If you are like, girl, I don't need a podcast, or girl, I don't want a podcast, don't worry. This content is still important for your business. So don't shut me out here. Listen to what I'm sharing with you, because I promise you, in the end, you will be able to customize this system to work for you. So however you want to use it. You will learn how to create a blog post on the same topic. Oh, Lynn says it's been on her list for years to start a podcast. Well, Lynn, I have recently started my podcast, and I'd love to connect with you for coffee, and I can walk you through some of the mistakes that I made, because it's a lot to learn. It's a lot to learn. So I will teach you how to create a YouTube video. Again, if you're not into YouTube, don't worry about it. And how to create social media posts with intention, right? Because we all can post social media posts. We're all capable of doing that. But we need to be doing it that makes sense for a business, that creates engagement, and is aligned with our brand and what we are selling, what we are offering at that time. So what you will not be learning, you're not going to be learning tech stuff or graphic design stuff. So check with your sisters like Mary Wu, hey, or Catherine is into graphic design. There are many other sisters in this community. You could speak with Madhu about SEO, but all the stuff that we're going to be doing today is going to be like very awesome with your SEO, okay? Don't stress. This is an overall view of what my week looks like, okay? So perhaps we can go into more detail in another workshop or something like that. Take only what you need and just dispose of the rest. Don't allow it to overwhelm you. You do not need to do all the things. I do not like to write blog posts, so I have a way to get around that. So if you aren't like in love with the idea of doing video, well, there's a way to get around it. We can do other kinds of content, but I don't want that to stop you, and I don't want that to stress you out. Okay, we're gonna get into it. I'm going to walk you through my weekly process, but I have a reference guide for you. So I'm going to, if you type this in right now, I can drop a link in for you in a second in the chat box. But this is going to be step-by-step, the bullet points of what we're going to be doing, so you have that information available to you. Okay, let me stop share for a second and pull up another screen. Boop. You gotta make the noises. Boop. Boop. All right. There we go. Okay, so here's the link. Here's the, I should have an assistant. Zoom share. Okay, can you ladies all type in that link? Because I can't get to the chat box at the same time with all of these open.
What link do you want us to?
Can you type it in for me? It's
I pasted it.
You did?
You did it, yeah.
Yeah, I cut and pasted it in there.
Thank you. So if you click on this button here, it's going to give you. Oh, here I can get the chat back open again. Okay, thank you so much for doing that. So here's your resource guide. So number one, we're going to start with a podcast. Now, the best way to start a podcast, I personally believe, is to do a Facebook Live as a weekly show. And then what we're going to do is turn it into all of these other things. So let me show you my Facebook page. So as I'm doing that, I'll tell you why. Because when you are committing to coming on live the same time every single week, it's really hard for you to come up with excuses. Because if you are scheduling events on your business page, people are going to know that you're not showing up, and you want to show people that what you're going to do, what you say you're going to do. So there's that accountability factor. The other thing is too, when you are recording something and you have an opportunity to re-record something, you are going to want to do a million takes over and over again. Listen, girls, better just done than perfect. So don't worry about recording the most perfect podcast ever. If you can do a Facebook Live, let me see if I can grab some of mine. So I create events and I do Facebook Lives, and then we download them. So I'm going to show you all that in a minute. But the first step is decide on your topic. So you want to come up with a title for whatever you want your weekly topic to be. And then you want to create a graphic. Use Canva. I'm sure, are you ladies familiar with Canva? So I have it typed out on there for you. But Canva is drag and drop graphic design, which is your best friend. So Jean, I told you I like to swear. There's a swear word. Well, it's got an asterisk in it. So here's something that I have coming up. So you can create your graphic in the shape of a Facebook event. This is really important because using this as a Facebook event is also the same size as a YouTube cover art. So we're going to kill two birds with one stone. Mary, thanks for putting that in there. I appreciate that. So you can create a graphic like this, create an event, and then we already know what's coming up, right? So we know we're going to go live Thursday at noon. We've got to have our topic ready. We've already posted the event on Facebook. Again, if you need help with that stuff, Mary Woo's your girl. You want to make an outline for your podcast. So this is really your bullet points of what you will be speaking on. And knowing that this is a live podcast, you don't even have to look at the people. As a matter of fact, when I'm doing my Facebook Live, I minimize the screen, so I don't even see what anyone's saying. Because as it being a live podcast, I don't want to be responding to people, and I don't want to say, hey, Lynn, thanks so much for joining, right? Because that's going to feel weird to people who are listening to your podcast. So I let everyone know, hey, I'm recording a live podcast. I'll comment away. I will respond to you after I'm done recording. So I have an outline of what I'm going to say, and I have it visually laid out so that I can really nail the content. I always put my intro in there, so you always want to introduce yourself to everyone. The next step, and you can see how I bolded these, right? Because you want to make sure, like, you're on the fly, girl. So you want people, you want to be able to see the bullet points of what you need to know. after you introduce yourself, always a call to action. Thanks so much for joining me today. I have a Facebook community. I'd love for you to join us. There is a link in the show notes. It's called show notes because it's a podcast, but you can also put them on the Facebook Live. And always point your listeners and your viewers to the next place you want them to go. So your journey for them. Thank you so much for joining me today. Ask them an interesting question and then say, you know, join my Facebook community or download this, whatever, right? So then you want to get into the meat of your podcast for that day. So I break it out into sections depending on what I will be speaking on, but bolding the points that are specifically going to help me just kind of move my story along. And that is really it. But here's the thing. You go, oh my God, Melissa, you're typing up all that stuff every single week. You know what this is? This is not only your podcast notes, this is your blog post, sister, because what you're going to do is you are going to highlight, you are going to copy, you are going to go this, to your website. Look at, this is like my life. See all these tabs open? Do you feel that way? Like there's a million tabs open in your brain. Let's see if it's going to open up here. So this, I'm going to, as this is kind of doing whatever the heck it's doing, I'm going to look over at our notes again here to make sure I'm staying on track. So number 2 is converting. So can you guys check in with me and let me know the idea of doing a live podcast? Do you have any questions on that, or why you would do that, or how to do that, or anything? Yes, it's always a bad sign when the human's faster than the machine. Yes, well, I also have children that love the internet, so that's probably not helping anything either. So, so we've got our podcast. We go thumbs up. You guys are good. So you have your podcast. Now you're going to go. I'm just going to take a video. This wasn't actually a podcast. Well, hello, my honest friend. That's what I say every time. So what you can do here is you can click these 3 dots, download your video. Okay. So what you just created was.
Wait. I had problems with this a couple weeks ago. Where's the 3 dots?
Right here.
Oh, you're behind there. Okay.
You gotta move me.
All right. Thank you.
Click here, download video. So, my friends, in a matter of minutes, you have created a Facebook Live, so people were able to watch you there. You are now creating a YouTube video because you're downloading it. YouTube. We're going to upload this video to YouTube. Who has 45 different accounts, by the way? I have, and I don't know which one it is. I use that LastPass, and that's supposed to save all your passwords, but look at what it didn't. Let's see. Is this, here we go. Okay. So now what you can do is, again, Mary can help you with the tech stuff, but you can upload that Facebook Live video and turn it into a YouTube video. Now here's a really cool part. Remember that event cover that we created on to let people know that we were going to be doing our live Facebook? That is the thumbnail for YouTube. So that little thing you saw there is the same cover. All these, see these things here? They're all the same. So you are repurposing your graphics, which is great because like making graphics can be the worst sometimes until you get the hang of it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into our blog post. This is my website. Check it out. And what do you all use for your website, by the way? I use Wix, and people are always shocked that I use Wix. And I'm like, you just need to know how to use it, girl, because it works for me 4 years now. Look at Jean, there's another swear word. Well, AF is not really a swear, but it's on brand. So I apologize for the delay here. Let's see if closing some of these things helps. And it's coming up. So remember that we copied all of the words from here. And what you can do is either on this document here or in your blog post, zhuzh it up, right? Because sometimes you're just putting in like phrases. So now you want to go back in to your blog post and make it make actual sense. And then you can turn it into a blog. But you've got the meat here. You've got the most of it done. And you just paste it right into a blog post. But here's the stuff that I really want to share with you today. Putting a YouTube video embedded into your blog post is the best search engine, the best SEO you are going to get. When you have all of your bells and whistles, everything matching, Google and YouTube, I think Google owns YouTube. So if someone is searching on the internet, how to make a festive AF quinoa salad, mine may come up because they are rewarding me by saying, oh my gosh, look at, you've got valuable content all lined up. And watch this. You embed your YouTube video into your blog. Okay? So, and guess what's at the top, girls? The same graphic we used for our Facebook event. We are repurposing queens. It only gets better. I can't wait to show you. Google owns YouTube, and video is indeed great for SEO, and people increasingly look at videos. And you can upload your YouTube to LinkedIn, which I need to get better at. But it's hard to be at all the places, but I can help you with some of them. The other tip I wanted to share with you about putting in your blog post, always have a call to action in your blog post. Here's mine. Again, the same one you heard on my Facebook Live, AKA podcast, right? Join my Facebook community. So you're taking these viewers, I always say women because I only work with women, but you're taking these women on a journey with you. So they're like, oh, I searched for a quinoa recipe on YouTube and this lady's video came up, and which brought me to her website, which told me to join her Facebook group. This is so cool. So it all ties together. And I have all of my blogs, all of my blog posts, all of my YouTube videos are all embedded into my website. Okay, let's go back to this thing because I get off track because I get excited. Oh, how do we turn our video into a podcast? Well, this is the thing. You're going to have to ask me to go have coffee with you to do this, because it's not always that using I have it referenced there for you. I use Audacity to edit my podcast, and I really should win some sort of, I should get some sort of diploma for figuring that out on my own. But what you do is you upload that same video to to a video editor. But when you go to, here, let's just pick one. That's not one. Jean, how am I doing on time? I always overrun. I'm good. Okay. Okay, so let's say this is a podcast. And we took out the beginning and the end where we're like, hey girl, thanks for joining me. Gonna do my podcast in a minute, right? We've edited that all out of the beginning. We're gonna export this and turn it into an MP3. So the MOV is your video. MP3 is audio. But I don't want to overwhelm you tonight by showing you how to edit podcasts because, as I mentioned previously, it's the worst, okay? But know that what we're doing is we're taking our video, we're turning it into an audio file, and then we're gonna add a beginning and like, you know, a cute little song and stuff like that, but that's for another day. That's too much for today. But we're gonna just keep going because we're almost done, but here's the best part. I like this. Let's take this story. When you undoubtedly say something that is going to be amazing, you know, when you are talking and something comes out of your mouth and you were like, damn, I am like Oprah. That is like a quotable moment. That is going to be a quotable moment because I'm going to show you in a minute. So right here, I loved being a woman with chronic illness. I loved it almost as much as I loved Norco. Okay? That's a powerful statement. So what you can do with that powerful statement, you create a quote. We'll use this one. You just create your graphic. Use the same one each week. People want to see consistency from you and branding. So you just change the words. I loved being, right? Or whatever your quote is. I'm sure it's not my quote. Put that here. And now you have content that matches what you just talked about. So all week long, you are going to be talking about that specific story. So last week I was talking about the blame game, taking ownership. So I might have a quote in there about taking ownership. I might go on to like Unsplash, or if you have any recommendations for a site to get free graphics from, and I might put in like a journal, and then I might download this. Let's see, let's just download this. You're going to schedule all of these posts on your business page, on your Instagram page, on Pinterest, wherever you want your social media at. I recommend 2 of them, but I try for 3, but I'm really bad at the 3rd. So we're going to take this graphic that I just uploaded free from Hannah at Sam's. Let's take the blame game. Because in the blame game, I tell my listeners about a journaling exercise that they can do to help themselves evaluate how they could have done things differently. Like, look at, here's step 1, observe the situation. We can go back in our blog, highlight, copy, go to Facebook. We're talking about writing, right? So that's relevant. We're talking about journaling. Boop, boop. Then you say, copy the link to that specific blog post. You feeling me? Give me does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you're gonna go read more. Boop. And then you're going to schedule it. Schedule your post. Okay, so there's this publish button here, but right next to it, there's a schedule button. So stagger them out. Okay, I was like, uh-oh, did I schedule that? So schedule them out through the week. So again, to kind of recap on that, you can create quotes from what you said in your blog post. You can take images that match what you were talking about. You could go as far as taking clips of video and just uploading like this moment where you nailed it, this moment where everything was like, yes, right? Take that video clip, schedule it. If you can create we can talk about that another time, but you can create, you ever see those on Facebook, the audio files, and it's got the little wavy lines when people are talking, it's like from a podcast. I wish I had an example, but I haven't done one recently. So you can go back in and you're repurposing the full week. So doing this means all week long, you are talking about the same thing. You are reusing your content. You are allowing people an opportunity to see, oh, here's my podcast. You can also add the audio here too, so you can listen to the podcast here. But you're allowing people the opportunity to see your content. I know it feels like when you put something out in the universe, people are going to see it. No, they don't. When I launch programs, I will talk ad nauseum for 2 weeks about the thing I'm selling, and then 3 weeks later, someone will go, hey, aren't you doing this thing? And I'm like, how did you not hear about it? I don't stop talking about it, but they don't. Don't be afraid to keep talking on topic all week long about one specific thing. You're at your time, but everyone is engaged. So go ahead. And
quick question.
Sure.
Facebook and SEOs, how do they work? Does the SEO, the content directly from, say, your blog, what you just cut and pasted?
You would need to upload the video to YouTube and embed it into your blog post in order to do that, which I'm not sure if, were you on when we did that?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so you would need to download the video from Facebook, upload it to YouTube. Here's another thing I didn't share. You know, like here's the beginning of our blog post. When you upload it to YouTube, copy and paste part of that blog post in there, along with that link to the rest of the article, to the rest of the blog post. When you do that, you're matching up your website with YouTube, which is essentially matching it up with Google.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
The last thing.
YouTube, Facebook, if you put partial blog, then it's going to pick up those keywords.
Facebook, Mary, I don't know. I don't think Facebook has anything to do with SEO, does it? Oh, you gotta unmute.
I'm unmuted. Madhu is not here. I think that Facebook does not feed into the SEO as well because SEO is Google, and Google and Facebook are two separate business entities. So Google likes YouTube's and blog posts better than it likes its competitor.
But incoming links are still incoming links.
Incoming links are still incoming links.
So
and if you link on
incoming
them,
links, no matter where they're coming from, it's going to be advantageous to your website.
Yeah, and you always want to put, like I just did this this video today. Yes, I want to leave the page. I can't even hear the sound of my own voice makes me want to. Okay, there's always a link. There's always a link. There's always next step for people. So instead of thinking about SEO, think about where do I want my my followers to go next. What's Mary, did you have something to, no?
Just trying to remember to mute myself because I'm sitting here going, yay, yay, and stuff like that.
Okay. So the last thing I want to say is don't forget to then send this out to your email list. Send them your amazing content, right? So you did this Facebook Live. If you turned it into a podcast, cool. If not, that's okay too. But you uploaded it to YouTube. You created a blog post. You scheduled all these posts for the week. You might have even gone in your Facebook community and asked the question. Let's see, I did the blame game. I may have gone in my Facebook community and said, when is the time that you blame someone when you knew it was your fault, right? So I'm still staying on topic all week. And then you're sending out an email to your list every Friday with this, or whatever day you want, with this valuable content that leads them back to your website, that leads them back to your offering. And that's it. You just rinse and repeat. And the last thing I'm going to say is this. Just like a weight loss journey, when you do something for 2 weeks and you go, I'm not down 40 pounds, this isn't working, I quit. You have to be consistent and you have to do it for a while to start gaining momentum. So don't get discouraged. Just keep going and show up like everyone is watching. And surely, if you are consistent with it, everyone will be watching.